Welcome to the Rebel Technologist Show with myself, Brett Sinclair, your host, where we explore the journeys of businesses and rebel technologists in adopting all these emerging technologies. With me today is Steve Nouri, and he is a pro in the world of AI, and I've been really excited to spend a bit of time with him. We're speaking from a fantastic little city called Gdansk as part of the InfoShare session. So I'm really excited to have him on the show. Steve, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Brett.
So you had a fantastic presentation today, and I just love your views on AI and how you share so much content and really help people, organizations understand where it's going, how it needs to be adopted, some of the challenges that are involved. Your content is incredibly rich. So it does tend to help a lot of your followers, of which I am. Gosh.
Thank you.
But I'd love to get your view and the learnings you've had talking to a multitude of businesses. What are some of the challenges that they're facing at the moment when looking at AI? Because are we in a hype cycle? Are we at the dip of it? Are executives jaded, or are they excited? How are you seeing the world at the moment?
I think it's a mixture of all of them all together, because that's very interesting. It depends who are you talking with, what industry they are from, and what is their background and how they are interacting with AI. So there are a mixture of all of them. When you talk with the practitioners and technologists, like yourself and myself, we are all excited. We are seeing the change. We are part of shaping it, and we are we cannot control our excitement and enthusiasm, and we want to just run with it. And then when you talk to the CFOs, they might not be as excited since they need to pay the check and they need to collect the returns. And that's something that is a kind of a debate and a point of conversation. But generally, in the public, there is a lot of excitement and a lot of fear of unknowns at the same time. And it's a good thing, because essentially we are going so fast. We are going very fast. And things are not 100% predictable when you are in that such a speed, especially in the long term. I would say even in mid-term. So these are all good mixture of feelings. And today's talk, I tried to just give them a little bit of more reality check about what to expect, what is happening, what are the sort of the short-term expectation of the future of AI, because like at the end of the day, we cannot predict anything beyond maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just find it's moving so quickly that even the analysts are struggling. Not that they've ever got it right. I'm very interested in, you spoke about different industries, different types of people, and then the cost implications. Now, is that real? And the reason why I'm asking is, I'm not sure the CFOs are quite in the position of investing the kind of money we see the tech companies investing. Do you think they're being put off by that? That they're seeing that and then thinking there will be a direct impact on my business to that kind of scale? I'm not convinced that they will be impacted as much as the big tech taking these kind of capital investments at the moment. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, the good news or bad news is that, some of the industries feel a little bit safer and they are taking the back seat, watching the others driving it, and they would like to learn from others' experiences. At the same time, there's a fear of missing out just because of the speed. So a lot of them are not sure if they come late to the table, there would be still any food left. And that's a very, very big fear. In many cases, that was like a long-term fear. So a lot of them would say, I mean, I'm not going to be here, so who cares? And unfortunately, a lot of big tech companies went down just because this, the C levels were like, in 10 years, who cares? I just need to make sure that next quarter I
it out.
show something nice to my shareholders. But then because of that explosion of the impact and the speed, that just makes everybody a bit more cautious about the safety net. There are a lot of industries that are more than technology, and there's a huge barrier of entry. I would say those CFOs would care less.
The safety net's a really interesting view, right? Because I think a lot of, especially in the financial teams, must be feeling jaded, having invested quite heavily in all of these sexy technologies coming up. Web 3.0, cloud. Cloud's burning at the moment because the guys are just committing themselves to these huge spend commits and not even being able to meet it and realizing the ROI is kind of being miscalculated a bit. There must be a little bit of fear around, is this what I'm being faced with next? I don't know if you're having those chats with CFOs.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Like CFOs are thinking even if it is even bigger threat, because like at least with clouds, they had a bit more understanding what's coming. And as they scale, there would be a lot of more cost here and there. But with generative AI and AI, they have fear of unknowns, of experiments. And then they are trying to get some concrete answers from their technologists and CTOs and C-levels, or even their AI experts. Even they don't know exactly that what is the cost of some of these services and some of these trainings. It is something that it sometimes looks like in the current world, like drug discovery. You would, invest and you would try and you'd have trials and you have a lot of different things happening at the same time. And then one or two of them will find a way to become successful and it would drive your whole business. But I would just say that generative AI or AI is going to be used in two different ways. And that the innovation way, which is what I'm talking about, is the one that is more complex and more difficult to predict. But there would be a productivity sort of usage where you would have certain understanding of the usage based on the number of tokens and number of people that you have in your team. And you would like to push them to use it more, but at the same time, you are cognizant of the more they query this AI model, they're going to pay more. And maybe people are going to start becoming more, I would say, lazy, probably. And instead of leveraging any other free ways of getting information, which you can go to Google and ask for in a specific detail, now you're going to use GPT-5 or maybe 6 or whatever to ask anything that you would like to do, even the obvious ones.
Actually, you've got a good point on the laziness. I always look at productivity and go, it's good to be lazy. As in, if you take a lazy individual, especially in the engineering space, they tend to be the most innovative. They're trying to use automation and script it, and they're just really breaking the boundaries because they don't want to do the mundane. And so I really hope to see a lot more of that in the space that we're in.
Sure.
But I think you're raising a good point. I do see a lot of, say, the non-engineers who find themselves going down the rabbit hole and generating reams of content and vast emails using these technologies that just go on forever. Look how much work I've done.
Yeah, exactly. Like many of these industries are reliant on certain long format documents that have templates, like in financial industries for compliance reasons. They generate a lot of text. And it is funny that now a lot of these advisors or experts are leveraging just entering certain bullet points or certain talking points or whatever they want to generate, and AI is taking care of the rest of the fluff. right? And then the funny part is that the receiver is going to do the same in reverse. And it's like, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to put it in ChatGPT and say, what are you talking about? And get the 4 bullet points. And I'm like, there should be a better way to just send that 4 bullet points to the final user.
Shall we just ask him to email themselves?
Yes, that would be much faster.
So what's spinning in my mind at the moment is you mentioned different industries at different levels of maturity and willingness to adopt the technology. I don't suppose you've spent much time with the legal industry. And I say so because that is a fascinating space for me. Here's an industry that traditionally are probably the most laggard when it comes to digital, yet, wow, is their industry being impacted? What are you seeing in the space when it comes to AI adoption there?
You're right. I mean, I haven't done much in the legal industry, but just the observation, I can see that it's one of those knowledge worker sort of a role that highly likely is going to be automated and will be replaced. It's just because it's so much reliant.
I think I actually have something that I should be pressing right now. I think it's this button. That was cheesy, right?
No, that's great. I mean, I wasn't expecting, but yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's just if you check how it works, these language models are doing it in the same way or 1,000 times better. Language model is essentially about understanding.
Yeah.
And about knowing syntax, intent, and things like that. And what is the legal system apart from the text that we are following as regulations, interpreting it, trying to identify ways to make it relevant, and pattern recognition, and then generating another text format, long format, and then presenting it. And it's all,
automated, right?
All automated.
It's insane. So tell me about your day-to-day. I mean, what interests you? You're playing such a pivotal role with your content and helping guide executives, guide engineers, and your learnings and sharing how you've used various pieces of technology. What is inspiring you? What inspires you as a rebel technologist?
So for me, I am technologist and a community person. Like these two, if you put these two together, that's me. I love to explore the new technologies, and I love to connect with people who are excited, share it with them, get the feedback, make the discussion going, and learn from them as much as I'm sharing as well. So that's my daily goal.
Stunning.
And I'm also CEO, co-founder of Gen AI Works.
Yep.
Tell us a bit more
community.
About that. Yeah, it's
a community.
It's the largest community in the world, probably in the AI world. And what we are doing kind of in the same direction, teaching people, keeping them up to date with what's happening in the world, which is not an easy thing, actually, to be very honest, with all the noise and all the things that are coming from every direction. It is so difficult for the, normal people to just think about where to find the information and what to rely on. As much as I would believe that generative AI is underhyped, a lot of things that are being shared is actually overhyped. So the technology is underhyped just because of the impact in future, but not necessarily all the noisy marketing sense of information that you might receive on social media. So our goal is to be the reliable source to teach you and give you the right information, aggregated, curated. And we are building our platform to help people with AI agents.
Stunning. So maybe I'm asking you to give away some of your secret sauce here, but I think it's intriguing. How do you sift and make those bets on the technology and the noise, right? There is so much noise that being able to kind of filter it through, your kind of sieve it out, what's real and not real, and what's probably got staying power because a lot of the times I feel like we're at this era of dial-up internet, where in the past you had to configure your TCP/IP socket, you had to dial up the modem, you had to connect your browser, and just a lot of effort. It feels like we're there, and so what I wouldn't want to do is make a bet and say, well, you never have to worry about TCP/IP. Well, yes, you do, but no, you don't. Do you put some thinking around that? It probably is your secret sauce, but if it is, please don't tell me.
No, that's right.
It's fascinating. Right?
Yeah, I would love always to share what are my thoughts with the community and get the feedback. So I probably do not have any secret sauce. I'm just a normal dude observing the world and trying to be open about all the opportunities that are available, and try to go deeper than just the noise itself. So one thing that I think I would do the best, I just surround myself with smarter people. And then I try to aggregate all the information that I'm receiving from these smart people and put my judgments on top of something that is already super refined and worth spending time and effort to dive deeper. And as you mentioned, like there are a lot of hypes. At the same time, if you want to understand there's a future or value in something, you would probably find it through the sort of technologies that are getting bombarded by noise and hype. Because that's where the sort of people that believe in certain opportunities would jump to or sort of focus. And I was just lucky to be part of this AI sort of era because, when I started learning and sort of working in this particular domain, there was not a lot of insurance about the future of AI. A lot of people, I think I mentioned to you, a lot of people were trolling my post that it's just like, there's no such thing as AI. You are just making things up. And, there's statistics and there's software engineering. And then you just put them all together and rebrand it as AI just because you want to, inflate the value. And I was like, at that point, it was very difficult to actually argue because AI was in the very early stages and there was not a lot of business value that you can show.
Was BERT around back then? And Transformers, well, it was 2017. So, it must have been, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, it was early days and it was like they were doing something, but it was not as reliable for the public to actually leverage. And it was mostly available through papers and people should read and see comparisons. And like, that's one of the secret sauce that made OpenAI just so big, so quick. It's just like easy, available to everyone versus that the others were like, this is the paper, and if you want to, go download these things, 10 things, and put them together and GitHub. I'm like, who have time to do it? Okay, so I can read and see you have 2% improvement. Good on you, and see what happens next. That was the end of it.
Steve, I feel like you're our industry's human LLM. You're gathering all the information, processing the bullshit, and really trying to bring it down to layman's terms. Thank you for your time on this show, and have an absolute wonderful time in Gdansk.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.